What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and the PTR has just updated with the brand new Hanzo changes. That's right, Scatter Arrow is no more. Well, it's technically on live still for a couple weeks, but anyways, we're finally going to get to try out Hanzo's new abilities. Also, the Rialto map, the Escort version, not the PvE version, is on the PTR as well, so I'll probably be experimenting with that in a different video. And in addition to the Hanzo rework, there were some other hero changes, some which we hadn't even heard of before, so I will also be looking at those. But first off, we're going to pick Hanzo and look at what he's got. Alright, Storm Arrows. The next 6 arrows fire instantly at reduced damage. Okay, that's pretty much what we knew. Lunge, double jump. So that's space. And then, okay, so I guess we'll have to play around with the lunge, because I wasn't exactly sure how that would work, like what key binding would be on. So that's just a normal jump. How does... Oh, you do it when you're in the air. Okay, that makes sense. Well, that's interesting. Ah, yeah, it gives them some nice little mobility. And they can do it in any direction, just like a tracer blink. So let's kind of play around with some wall climbing. I think you would have been able to do that anyway. I don't know, I'm sure those of you who actually play Hanzo will probably be able to come up with some pretty cool techniques using that. But anyways, normal storm bow, let's try out the rapid shot. Let's see if we can get a target. Here, I'll go down here. Ooh. That kind of feels nice. I want to try it again real quick so let it cool down. That lunge is going to be nice, but also annoying if you're like trying to dive him. So you don't have to fire all the rapid shot arrows at the same time. It's like you activate it. But then you can fire them whenever you want. That actually feels really nice. I just want to try one more time. Let's use that. Activated. Oh, and then you see you have the timer as well going across the screen in the middle, showing, I guess, how long you have to use it. Well, that feels really nice. I like that a lot. Believe it or not, I actually play Hanzo a good bit in Deathmatch. So I'm by no means a Hanzo main, but I do have a good bit of experience with him. And yeah, I'm just glad Scatter Arrow is gone. Oh, and another thing that I initially forgot to mention about Hanzo is his Storm Bow projectile speed has been increased. I didn't even notice that when I was just firing it, but now that I'm looking at it, I think I can tell. But increased from 85 to 100. So that'll definitely make him more effective at longer ranges. Which, I mean, he's technically a sniper, so that's good. And the other thing is Sonic Arrow cooldown decreased from 20 seconds to 12 seconds. So yeah, you can see shorter cooldown. Duration decreased from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. Radius decreased from 10 meters to 7 meters. So I'm going to go over to this area where there's some more bots to try to test out whether there's like a noticeable size difference. Yeah, maybe I can kind of see it. Of course, as Jeff talked about previously, the reason they did that is so it can be deployed more frequently and just kind of moved around to essentially let you cover more area. So you don't just, like, shoot a single choke and then that's, like, the only place you're going to look at for the next 30 seconds or whatever. So, yeah, that's probably going to be a pretty good change overall, as is generally the case, in my opinion, when Blizzard makes changes. Not always, but I feel like recently they've been doing pretty well when it comes to changing abilities and nerfs and buffs. Okay, and so the next major change that we got was to Junkrat. Junkrat got nerfed. I guess I'm not surprised this happened. It's not exactly what I was expecting it to be, though. So if we look here, projectile size decreased from 0.3 to 0.2. Oh yeah. Just looking at it, I can kind of tell. I play quite a bit of Junkrat, so... yeah. Apparently they're doing this so it's a bit harder to just spam and hit enemies. which I think is good. I think that's probably what they needed to go for. They couldn't really reduce the damage, because the damage is pretty good for what the frag launcher has. Also, like the reload speed and projectile speed. Oh, he's a good guy. Sorry about that, mate. So yeah, projectile size. I never even considered that they would change that, but now that I've seen that they have, that seems like a good way to at least experiment with it. That seems pretty good. So that's probably going to be a good change. And if I can charge up my ultimate, I can show off the other nerf, which is to his Riptire, which the move speed has decreased from 13 to 12. So Riptire is slightly slower. Again, I think this is probably going to be a good change. Oh yeah, I can feel that. It's strange. It's 13 to 12. It seems like such a tiny difference, but yet I can still tell. I mean, I guess that shows how much I play the game. So smaller projectiles and slightly slower Riptire. That will, I mean, overall, that just is a nerf. No questions about it. Is it a devastating nerf? No, I don't think so. I mean, I think any, especially when it comes to the reduced grenade size, any good Junkrat player, that's not going to make a difference at all. Riptire speed just makes the Riptire a little less good, which, I don't know, I think that's fair and understandable. And the next hero which got nerfed was Tracer. Now this is actually pretty astonishing. I am pretty sure about this, but I think this is the first time Tracer has ever been changed. Buffs, nerfs, anything since the game came out. So obviously Tracer has been a bit annoying in the meta, and what they've done to reduce her effectiveness is they've lowered the damage from her ultimate, the, what's it called? Pulse Bomb, from 400 to 300. So unfortunately I can't test it out too well because these guys are going to instantly die regardless. But what I can tell you, especially since I am a tank main, this is going to be much less effective against tanks. I mean, she could one-shot Zarya with it if she got stuck and her bubbles weren't ready to activate. Bastion also. Bastion, given that he has armor, will no longer be one-shot by the Pulse Bomb. That's pretty interesting. I remember there was that period of time where Bastion was like accidentally OP when they buffed him, and Tracer couldn't one-shot him with the Pulse Bomb back then due to his like damage reduction. And now he can't be one-shot again, so that'll be interesting. Maybe Bastion will come into the meta? I don't think so. But overall, yeah, this is going to be less effective against tanks. Also, if you consider heroes like Mei or Reaper who have 250 base health, if they have like Brigitte's armor on them, then they can't be one-shot either because they'll have like 325 or whatever it is. This is definitely a noteworthy nerf to Tracer. I'm really curious to see how this ends up playing out. I'm not really sure. I feel like she's still such a good hero that, I mean, especially when it comes to dive comps, we're going to be seeing a lot of her still. But I am definitely intrigued with where this is going to end up going. And the next hero to get changed is Lucio, and Lucio actually got a slight buff. First of all, his Sound Wave, which is his boop ability, no longer consumes ammo. So this is a little scary, because it means there's probably going to be more boops happening, but at the same time, I don't know, I guess it just kind of makes sense that it doesn't cost ammo, because it does have a cooldown of its own, so being tied to ammo and a cooldown, I don't know. I mean, this is just a buff to him, because obviously he costs less ammo to use his abilities, and the other thing is more improvements to wall riding. Ooh, I could feel that. Now, I'm not very good at wall riding, I will admit, but there were apparently some minor tweaks, which you will have seen on screen, that are going to make it so wall riding is easier, feels more fluid. It seems like they're always kind of tweaking wall riding because it'll be too OP, but then it's not fluid enough. So, I don't know. Overall, I guess I'm glad that they're doing this. And finally, the last hero to get some changes is Genji, with what I'm guessing is going to be a slight nerf, in that the hitbox for his deflect ability has been reduced. It's going to be hard to test here, unfortunately. I know that Jeff Kaplan did talk about this, because the issue they had with it was it covered an area bigger than the animation looked like it was. And I know especially when playing like McCree, you try to throw the flashbang past him, and you end up like just hitting it, even though it doesn't look like you should have been able to. So this is probably going to be a good thing. It is a slight nerf, I will say that, without a doubt. I guess until we can get a really good estimate for exactly how much smaller the hitbox is, we won't know how devastating of a nerf it is. I imagine it's not going to be anything severe. Overall, though, I will just mention, now that we've run through all the new changes that have come out, a lot of these are definitely kind of hitting at that whole dive comp situation. Because I know they introduced Brigitte as a way to counter dive, and in a lot of ways she does, but also in a lot of ways she doesn't quite. So it seems like what they've done here is they've at least a little bit nerfed the dive heroes, mainly being D.Va and Tracer and then Genji. Also Zenyatta a little bit, but that wasn't as much. So yeah, D.Va, Tracer, and Genji have all been nerfed. So yeah, I guess we get to see how this plays out. I don't know, maybe exciting, maybe we'll just get another meta that nobody enjoys. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. And there you go, these have been all the changes which are currently on the PTR. As I said, also the new Rialto escort map is on the PTR as well. I'll probably be showing that off in a different video, just to keep things more spread out. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to leave your thoughts about any of these new changes down in the comments below, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.